Guys, listen, structure of the captors is totally unsound.
Captain, there better be a good punchline because the setup is
so weak.
Okay, let me just say this right now. I ain't gonna tell you whether T.J. Miller dies or not. I would tell you he should have died during the opening credits. It was just like, shut the fucking stop. So your girl, Kristen Stewart, man. You know, she hated Twilight so much. Everybody thought she couldn't get out from under the shadow of that vampire boy. And she thought, you know what, I'm just gonna have to hide for a little bit. She went and made all these independent art films. You know, had to prove to her, you know, I'm more than just a vampire's bitch. You know, I'm an actress. And I got chops. And she did make some good, interesting films, man. Yeah, a lot of art and independent movies that got some. If the whole thing didn't get a good review, people praised her for her acting.
Right.
And then she said, "All right, time to get back into the game." Right. Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. What you got for me? Charlie's Angels.
Oh, what better than a reboot to get back in the game? And people said, "Yeah, you were good as usual. Too bad the movie's bullshit." And a lot of people, they didn't even say it was bullshit. They just said it was mediocre. And shit, this poor girl did. They did give her praise. They said, you tried.
Yeah.
You did the best you could. It ain't your fault.
To my earlier point, she was the girl in that movie who said the random things, who was in her own world.
Who was? You know, looked like she didn't say enough though, Martin. You know, whatever she was saying, nobody was listening. Nobody was buying. Somebody looked at her and said, damn, Christian, maybe you need to get wet. You know, man. I didn't mean nothing dirty by it. I didn't mean nothing sexual by it. Don't take it there, Martin. I don't mean nothing by that. I'm just mean. Look, I did not. I did not. That was actually a Training Day reference, Martin.
There's a problem with your narrative.
What's the problem with that?
This movie was made 2 years ago.
Oh, Martin, there's a problem with your narrative. Movie was made 3 years ago. Boing, boing, boing. It was on the shelves for 3 years, man. Yeah, she actually made this before Charlie's Angels. You're right. You're right, man. Somebody said, you know, you should have left that shit at the bottom of the sea. A lot of people are saying that this ain't doing her comeback too many favors right now.
No.
But you know, man, I think you got a lot of people out there, and I'm being honest with you. You got a lot of people out there who are looking at this and they're judging it because a lot of these critics, they are film nerds. And they're like, man, you just took too much from one of my favorite movies. You just stole a little bit too much from one of the greatest pieces of cinema.
Leviathan.
Yes.
Deep Star 6.
Hold on, boy. Hold on. We can go, Mark, we can go all day.
I know, we can go all day.
Mark, shit. What's up, man? Mark, I got to go home at some point.
You said, but it should have been left at the bottom of the sea. It should have been left in the night.
Yeah. Mark, we got to go home at some point. Hey, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Making the list.
Shit. Oh, Martin, Martin, we only tapped the surface.
Oh, we gotta go deeper.
Man, shit goes deeper, Martin. You almost gotta go to the bottom to see where they reached. Them motherfuckers went to the bottom of the sea to reach this. Shit, I'm surprised they didn't rip off the Little Mermaid with this shit. Under the sea. Still this I will. Nah, man, let's look at this trailer right here, and we'll be back with our review. Can I give y'all just a little bit of a spoiler? Because this goes back to some good old-fashioned. This goes back to some good old-fashioned horror. So if you look right here, I guess somebody had eagle eyes and they saw this brother over here, and they said, look, tune out for just a second if you want no spoilers for this, but they said, let me guess, the black guy dies first. You would be correct. You would be not.
Yeah, it's old school.
We going back to some old-fashioned, good old-fashioned horror where the Negro dies first.
Because when they did it, I was like, wow, nobody's done this in a while. There's been a moratorium on that.
It was almost, I mean, I don't like when they do it, but it was almost nostalgic. I'm like, all right, you know, it's kind of cool we getting back to killing the black people first. I mean, you're going back to some hard roots with this, you know. They killed and let me say, now he's not the first one to be found dead.
No.
To be fair, there's some white people they found dead, but he's the first one to die first.
On screen.
And that Negro died spectacularly. He blows in water, Martin.
Yeah.
In water, he blows up.
Yeah.
He explodes.
The other characters are traumatized by how he dies.
That mother put on a Michael Bay suit and kaboom! And one woman, she saw that, she said, ah! They made sure to let you know that mother was a sacrifice for all the white people here. Because Kristen Stewart picks up a helmet and she's like, he knew that this would kill him. He did it for us. Oh, noble Uncle Remus of the sea. I mean, I ain't gonna spoil the whole movie. I might spoil it where it needs to be because ain't shit to spoil.
There's really
with
not.
This. Let me tell you the pitch for this. Somebody went to 20th Century Fox about 5 years ago and said, you know what? Got the perfect pitch for a movie. Y'all having trouble with the Alien franchise? And really, Scott ain't gonna let nobody touch it. You know, how about this? We just take Alien and put it underwater. Be like, and that's it. That's it.
Huh?
Hey, you gonna thank me? I just saved y'all money on a script writer. What? Come on. And 20th Century Fox, they even looked at him like, sure. You know what? You know, really, Scott.
Hey, didn't we do that? Just let him. Let him do it.
Really, Scott just rip him off, man. Because he's up. He ain't letting nobody touch it. You know what? Almost to spite him. You just take it and just rip that shit completely off.
I mean,
do what you will.
Right down to having T.J. Miller come in and be the Bill Paxton character.
Yeah, and y'all know this shit is old because ain't nobody with T.J. Miller today.
Well, we were speculating if maybe that's why it got shelved because it got done right around that time and he was having all those public troubles, and they just went like, we can't put this out right now. And now they put it out. You go, oh, T.J. Miller, didn't he have that? He was involved in a. Shit, yeah. What was he involved in? I don't even remember now.
Oh, the Emoji Movie. That's right. He also had a sexual assault. Yeah, that Emoji Movie, man. Shit, that assaulted my mind with that. 20th Century Fox didn't care. Really, Scott up. He ain't letting nobody play with it. The Mickey Mouse done bought this shit.
Right.
They'll take it and do something with it. They'll make it right. So yeah, we're giving you our permission. Go ahead, rip it off all you want to. And that is the only way this had to have been made. It was almost as if 20th Century Fox, since Ridley Scott was not letting James Cameron have it, since he wasn't letting other directors come in, since he wasn't letting the director of District 9 come in, since Ridley Scott was being a goddamn toddler and talking about mine, 20th Century Fox said, all right, you. You know what? We'll let this dude just we'll let the dude just rip you completely off. And they did. Because you can look at this. I'm gonna show you something. And when I say Alien, it's not just Alien, it's an Aliens type movie.
Yes.
Because it rips off all
the Aliens underwater ripoffs.
Yeah. It rips off that, but it rips off the series Alien.
Yeah.
When I say the series has certain tropes and images that they always have. Like in all these movies, they got all of them. They always got these people around this lighted table right here. Hey, we got that too. You know, one of the things that people love about Alien, they got those cool ass spacesuits. Hey, shit, we can make it cooler and take that shit underwater. Seriously, you can take that underwater or fly to space in it. It's multi-purpose. They ripped that shit off. They ripped it off right down to the point of Sigourney Weaver as Ripley running around in her drawers. They did the same thing in this movie. Yeah,
40% of this movie is just an excuse to have Kristen Stewart run around in bikini shorts and a sports bra.
And dudes got on nasty ass underwear, holes all in their drawers and shit, and they were out there wearing they wearing Victoria's Secret.
Oh, you had to love that scene where they're going to get into the suits, and Kristen Stewart looks at the Asian actress and says, "Oh yeah, you got to take those pants off."
Oh yeah,
I was like, for real, man.
There's one part where one of them girls were bent over, like, it ended up being T.J. Miller. I'm like,
with holes in his drawers.
It was holes in his drawers. Yeah. Hey, he had holes all in his drawers. He had some heavy farts and some heavy shits because there were holes all in those drawers. Man. It's not only aliens in every Alien movie in the series. You know, it was almost like, you know, while we shopping, let me go ahead and get some of that Deep Star 6. And give me some of that Leviathan right there, too. Oh, man, you know what? Shit, man, I'm going big. Let's get some of the Meg in there.
The Meg, yeah.
I'll take a side of the Descent right there. And you know, let me get a bottle of that HP Lovecraft. they go, hey, and you know what?
There's others.
Throw in the Abyss too.
Yeah, Deep Rising. Give me some of that.
Yeah, all that shit, man. All of it, and then some.
HP Lovecraft.
Give me a bottle of that old HP Lovecraft, vintage. You know, man, I'm serious. You're gonna see it, and you're gonna see how all that kind of comes together. How they stole all that and put it all in one movie.
Well, did you see how the movie seemed like it was so close to being a prequel for Cloverfield?
Yeah, it did, man. Now that you mention it, yeah, it was.
I mean, if they'd had the rights to do that, it could have been part of that series.
Because who released this? The 20th Century Fox. Mm-hmm. So if Paramount had had this, they probably would have crowbarred this into some sort of Cloverfield.
But I mean, everything that happens in it plays right into Cloverfield.
It really does. It really does. There's a point they just could have CG'd in the Cloverfield monster, and it would have fit better than it. And then in that goddamn paradox effect or whatever it is that they did.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't think that just because they're ripping all this off that is all bad. Because that's one of the things now for me, I don't know about you how you felt, but I thought, like, you know what? I had some respect for the direction of the movie, at least at the beginning, because they jump right into it. Now, they jump into it so fast that these characters ain't shit. You don't get to know them. They got a hairpin rush, but they get right into it. I mean, I'll trade off character if you can just keep the momentum of the movie going, you know, for an action film. Now, if you're a drama, you can't do that, but for something like this, where it's pretty much a creature feature and an action film, you know, they start right off the bat blowing up this station. When you look at the hallways and shit, it's almost like they just put a raggedy-ass college dorm underwater. I was like, man, this shit, of course this shit was going to blow up. Why y'all even put people underwater this ragged ass shit right here? But the moment that they get the movie going, I mean, it starts hitting pretty hard, and at least they do keep the momentum going pretty well. When you watch it, I would almost say I saw a movie a long time ago, and look, you could say they ripped this off too, but there's some things in here that they rip off well. Now, not all of it. Some of it's just blatant, because there are beats that they follow with Aliens. Yeah. There's some. If you watch Aliens, when they're tracking the creature, when one of the characters is trying to track it down, or when the Marines are tracking down the aliens, they have a scene like that here.
It always cracks me up when they have a radar that has custom graphics for some threat that they never knew they were going to have. Yeah,
well, I guess it just goes by motion. I don't know. Yeah, they could be looking at rats fall. But also, they have they got the scene where they're looking. It's like they're looking at the eggs and the I'll put it back on. And the face hunger comes out. Mm-hmm. They got a scene like that. They got the scene where Ripley's telling the Marines to get out of there. Yeah. They actually have their version of a face hugger that pops out. And, yeah, you look at this, man, it's like...
Yeah, even down to the having it and then it getting away.
and it getting away. And, I mean... But there's a non-science fiction and horror elements in there. At the beginning, before you even see any creatures, before they turn into a monster movie, it's sort of a disaster film. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of this movie called Pressure. Have you ever seen this?
No.
It's a movie about these people. It's an underwater oil rig, just like with this. Mm-hmm. And the rig is breaking down. They're trying to find a way to escape.
Let's talk to me. We're losing oxygen.
It's a very intense film, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually watched that movie and took some. What are you talking about? They watched every other. Come on, what am I saying?
Yeah, why would they skip that one?
Yeah, what that? Oh, that was the accident. Nah. I mean, they covered everything with this. But if you watch the movie, again, you don't know the characters, but it does move fast enough to where all you need to know is that they're trying to just get out and survive.
Okay, guys, listen. Structure of the captors is totally unsound.
Captain, there better be a good punchline because the setup is
so weak.
Okay, let me just say this right now. I ain't gonna tell you whether T.J. Miller dies or not. I would tell you he should have died during the opening credits. That month, he was cracking so many jokes, and it's not even like I hated T.J. Miller.
That's what they hire him for.
I know, but it was so much that sometimes it didn't fit. It was just like, shut the f***, stop.
Yeah.
Just a moment. It's okay. If somebody like it was like hanging around with that person who wants to be a comedian and they're trying so hard.
Yeah.
Like they're always cracking jokes because they want to be funny so much. And it's not even T.J. Miller. I know people want to blame T.J. Miller because they might not like him or he gets on their nerves. It's just the way that character was written.
Yeah, it was a bit much in the beginning, but I found shortly after that I was endeared to him. I'm like, all right, he's fine. Everybody's working together.
Yeah, I mean, he annoyed me, but it wasn't like it was him. I'm okay with the character. I was just like, y'all don't have to write this many jokes for him. We know he's T.J. Miller, and that's what he does. If you want to watch a movie of this type that actually does it right, this movie you're gonna look at if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is ranked very low, and I don't know why. Because the movie's actually a lot of fun. I didn't see it when it came out in theaters, but I saw it later, and I was like, man, I really like this movie. Deep Rising.
Oh, yeah.
Deep Rising was underwater alien kind of ripoff, but they took their own original take on it, and they also knew how to handle it with good characters and and it was more dark humor in there than a lot of people actually give it credit for.
They're dead in the waters.
The ship's infested. Let's get the hell out of here!
And another thing, this movie is PG-13. And this film, Deep Rising, not when I say underwater is PG-13. Deep Rising is rated R, and there's a lot of cool gore effects in this.
It's by the same guy who did the Mummy movies.
Yeah, but it's that's.
And I only know because he has that one actor and everything.
Which Stephen Summers. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Now this is Treat Williams and Famke Janssen or whatever. Yeah, man, it's a good movie. I would tell you that's a movie that has its own original take that's more fun. Sometimes this movie that you're watching here, I mean, I want to give this movie more credit. I want to go in because it's a good-looking film. I mean, they might have ripped it off, but here's the funny thing: whatever they ripped off, they did it well enough, but not better.
Yeah,
even the rip-offs did it better.
Yeah, that's the thing I kept thinking watching. I was like, it's not like it's low quality. They didn't half-ass it. They committed to doing something extremely unoriginal in that we've seen done before and even better, or if not better, well, we've seen it like a bunch.
Yeah.
So it's not adding anything, but it's something you brought up with how it starts as just a kind of a disaster movie. People on a rig that's collapsing, several miles underwater. I was like, man, if they could just stick to this and not have the creatures in here.
Yeah.
This could work fine on its own. Let us be invested in these people.
Shit, throwing a giant, a giant monster fish or something to come in just quickly, not be the whole movie.
Yeah, not be the whole movie.
Like, and that's the thing about the film, man. The way it begins too is not even that original. It's like starts out with them telling you that people are digging in a place they don't have any reason around in, and they end up waking up a creature. And the creature, he's been, not only did you wake his ass up, but he sleep for a while, so he's hungry too. So he's grumpy, hungry, and they try to get away, and he's like, no, I'm going to eat you.
And his whole family's there.
Yeah, and his whole family's there. And he's like, no, y'all, shit, y'all are delivery. Shit, y'all like a DoorDash was, Y'all like Uber Eats. The creature effects that they have here are kind of cool.
They are.
But
they're clouded by the water and
which I like.
murkiness.
I like that. I think the creature effects are cool. What they did with the creature effects is they've taken some of the things that we know about creatures that live way underneath the sea. Now, without the luminosity of those creatures, there's some creatures with like big eyes, except they've taken their own, I don't want to say too much, but they have their own take on them. And I will say it's kind of inspired by Alien, though, in a way.
Yeah.
And some of the other things that we've mentioned. But it was a cool design. And it is cool what they've done with them. I just wish they could have done something a little more original.
The first half I probably enjoyed a lot, but that's because I thought it had the potential to maybe go off on its own and do something. And then the other half where you realize it doesn't, and it's more about the creatures, not so interesting. But like I said, I thought it was well done. I was never really bored, but I thought the ending was flat.
I thought that was kind of bad.
The ending was flat, and then they have sort of an epilogue that's one of those. Don't try to make this more than what it was.
let me. Y'all got characters doing shit they shouldn't even know about. Martin, what you giving?
Look, if Alien or Aliens was going to be released in the theater, I'd say, hey, go see them there on the big screen. Deep Star 6 and all the rest of those, you'd rent that shit. Yeah. And this is just like that. It's a rental.
Yep, I gotta agree. It's a rental. Yeah, I'm looking at what I'm looking at right now.
I hate to play into the poll, but when I saw it going up, I was like, oh, well.
Jeez, they know us too well. So if you want to know You want me to spoil it? I'll spoil it, and don't tell nobody who doesn't want to be spoiled, because I'm not do. But I'll tell you guys this. Like, it's not a bad movie, man. Watch it as a rental. It can be fun. That's it. You know, it's just because it ain't nothing new under the sun at all, and that's a hackneyed expression.
Water,
shit ain't nothing. Yeah, water, the moon, anything. There's a big ass creature. Like, they don't explain this. How these motherfuckers have woke this up and didn't notice that. Why I said H.P. Lovecraft. They woke up Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, yes.
I don't know if it's the real Cthulhu or not, but it might as well be. It's like if you combine a T-Rex with Cthulhu. It's a big ass.
It was bigger than a T-Rex. It's Godzilla.
No,
size.
what I say, just the way it looks, it's a mother that woke up with muscles and shit.
Yeah.
Like, the creature just got out of a workout, and I mean, I'm serious. That mother comes out flexing.
Yep.
There's a moment they put a light on him, and he's like.
You want to go, bro?
You know, I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's posing. And then they have all these other little creatures that look like creatures from The Descent. And Kristen Stewart, she's the last one left with two other characters. So they killed everybody. Of course, they killed the black dude. They killed the funny guy. Who gets to live? The white dude dating the Asian chick. Yeah, come on. So, hey, you know, guess who wrote this? So she's the only one left besides those two. And she's like, well, you two love each other so much, I got to let you go because apparently I ain't got shit going on in my life.
Right.
And because there's 3 pods. One of them ain't working. So she lets these lovebirds go. Oh, but it ain't over with. When they start to rise to the surface, these creatures, instead of staying their ass down there and just being happy, why the going after these 2 little pieces, these 2 little crumbs, this big mother, he's like, oh, no, you don't. And he's like, he tells the whole gang, get them mother, man. Right. And the whole sea for these 2 little crumbs of people. And then, by the way, I don't know what they were going to do because this is a whole mob, and there's only one that can feed, like they will only feed 1 creature a piece.
True.
So what the y'all going to do?
True. And you know they couldn't go to the surface.
You know what that's like? That's like 100 people fighting over a piece of sushi. Chasing these two little ass people. It's like, y'all are stupid. And that's when Kristen Stewart says, well, you know, oh my God, they're chasing them up there. I gotta make sure they get to the surface alive. Now, how the they gave her this information, I don't know. But and why they would build something like this, I don't know. But she knows somehow that there's, like, no shit, practically a nuclear reactor built into this drill. The mother is even shaped like a bomb.
And they've given her access to it.
And she knows how to go and do the right bleeps and bloops and types in the right code to blow all that shit up. So, and by the way, somehow she's calculated in her mind that the explosion will actually go just far enough to destroy all the creatures, but not the 2 humans in those pods.
Well, it shows it on the computer. It's like, well, this is the blast radius, and your people. This is what I'm talking about. These custom graphics for a scenario that nobody could have predicted.
That's still convenient as.
That's what I'm saying.
That graph stopped just short.
That's what I'm saying.
They put a bubble around it. And by the way, that's what you meant because the graph shows the creatures.
It shows the creatures.
Yeah.
And like whoever designed that board, like, well, just in case there's giant sea monkeys, I need to put some graphics in there for that.
And by the way,
you never know, man. I'm prepared for everything.
On that screen, you see these little sea monkey creatures and this big swole coming at you. And it's like, what the fuck? I said, this is dumb. I was like, man, if I was ever wanting to give this a rental, that shit took it away. I almost gave it like a low-ass rental next to some bullshit for that bullshit-ass ending. Yeah. Because that was stupid.
Yeah. It was stupid, and she throws in one line, and it was just flat.
Yeah.
But then the epilogue was just like...
Oh, by the way, I guess that was a ripoff of Armageddon. I mean, look, if they rip it off everything, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, you. She blew up Cthulhu and his gang. Get the out of here. What's the epilogue? You want an epilogue? Yeah, there's an epilogue. During the closing credits, instead of like finishing the story, they just put out there in like newspaper clippings. Company covers up accident under the sea. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, no, it's done.
And like, you guys got privy to the real information. No, shut up.
And by the way, after she blew up Cthulhu, they said company returns to drilling. You know, it's like, oh, Jesus.
With what money after all that? That company's gone.
It ain't got nobody to blame it on.
Contaminated.
Yeah, this shit is stupid, man. If they didn't have nothing to rip off, they just got dumb.